Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Woostah for you. Here's Norm Scott. I think this game, there's about a 50-50 chance I actually use the Azure Lane Montpellier commander on this. Since then, or recently, I've decided I'm going to put Norm Scott back on all my light cruisers. Was playing with both builds. That's niche topic, neither here nor there. Norm Scott, great light cruiser commander for the Americans. 6v6, what the heck is this? Well, note everyone in the game is PlayStation. How does this happen? Well, some of these guys in this game have crossplay turned off. Why? Because they think PlayStation players are 10 times better. They're sick of their teammates throwing, and ergo they turned off crossplay. Newsflash. PlayStation players throw games all the time. Even I do it. Alright, so don't worry about it. Players are just as good on both consoles. You're screwing up your matchmaking, though. If you're seeing a lot of these short fill games, that's probably what it is. Go to the game settings, turn off crossplay. Why are we showing this game? Well, it's still, it's a high damage game for a full game. And what we can do is just imagine each team is 3 backline Bettys or AFKs that aren't doing anything. That's no different in a normal legendary tier game. So basically it plays the exact same. It's going to be a nice scoring game. But there's plenty of fundamentals that we want to talk about, both for light cruisers and just domination mode, scoring. That's going to be a huge thing here, and just game play in general. So that's normally I wouldn't show a short fill game unless there's specific reasons. A little bit of housekeeping as we're moving into position here. Closing in on the 25,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. How far are we away? About 250 or so. In fact, out of the 44% of you guys that are watching that aren't subscribed, if just a fraction of you did, we would hit it today. But the plan will be, assuming we actually do hit the 25, we'll get the big stream going in the next update cycle. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Giveaways will be on this channel, and we also got a new channel called Bull Bites. If you're not familiar with this, short little clips that we got on the separate channel, and you can find the link to that in the description. So if you want to win some premium ships potentially, or containers or whatever other goodies we get, you're going to want to be subscribed to both of those, and stay tuned. All right, moving into the match here. What's the name of the game with the Woostah? Well, we don't want people shooting at us like the Grober. My God, here it comes. Now, we want to be playing right next to islands for the majority of the game. You're going to see my positioning. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was attempting to make a surprise play or whatever. This isn't it either. We're not really behind cover on the island that we're playing, but what we are doing is utilizing the island cover down range, right? Look at the high floaty shots. We can get these shots over their islands or our islands. So we want to be very cognizant of that. Anytime we're firing in the opening, you see some guys run and gun with these. It might have some success here and there, but when you get whacked, ooh boy, you're going to get whacked real hard. Grover coming in here. And we just hold the shot for just a second here. Well, actually we don't really hold it. We fire and reload. I think it's the next gap. But we want to be cognizant. Okay, we're checking the map before we do that. Okay, we're only going to get spotted briefly, and his guns aren't pointed at us. We're verifying various factors, saying to ourselves, okay, this is a safe shot to take. So even though we got spotted there, nobody on the red team could shoot us. And here we shoot. Max view range detracts the blue circle. Now we kind of hold the shot for just a moment. We're going to move forward just a little bit, minimize the time we're going to be spotted, okay? So once again, we're utilizing the cover down range to protect our own ship and control the concealment. We don't want to be spotted very often in this. We don't want ships across the map saying to ourselves or to themselves, man, that Woostah looks juicy. Why don't I go launch a 16-kilometer crossfire shot across it? He's never going to see it coming. Boom, the game's over. All right, Grover, he's pushing into our battleship. This is a fight for C. This is going to be consequential. Of course, domination mode, we want to capture one flank and the middle. All right, now there's not a lot preventing us from really getting the middle. I'd say maybe the battleship south of B could just move on it, see if they can capture the base. But we're working on C over here. Now we're spotted. We're committed to it. Switch to armor piercing. What we want to be doing when the battleships or whatever ship is broadside like this, is it on fire? If it's not on fire, probably use the HE to get those fires going. But you see there was an AP shot, about 6,000 damage. That's going to be more raw damage than we're getting from those AP shots, or the HE shots, excuse me. But what we want to do, ideally, get 1 or 2 fires going on the battleship. Now every second, we're getting a little bit of passive damage in the background. And, okay, he's still broadside, boom, hitting him with the AP. Now we're getting maximum damage with the shells and some passive damage in the background. So playing around with those, see what the situation is. Probably could have got more damage there, shooting a little bit more AP, but I was trying to keep those fires going as well. Musashi, and here we're controlling the vision with our close island. You can see now there's no cover on him downrange, obviously, but what we're doing is keeping the middle of our ship, and it's judged by the height, the tallest point of the ship, and kind of the midpoint usually. Now, exactly where are we getting spotted? Now we're squirting through a little bit here, slamming on the brakes, but we were just a little bit too careless, and we're going to see him attempt to get his guns on us. We're trying to back up, but it's going to take a little while. Even with the prop mod, which we want on these American light cruisers, we got a lot of back and forth cruiser action. Ooh, there's a Musashi shot coming in. There's a Musashi shot going right through us. Oh, boy. Don't want to be taking a lot of those. All right. Now, you could say maybe we would have taken less damage if we were angled there. Maybe, maybe not. Better to just control whether we're being spotted or not. Hey, look who's got a will to rebuild build on his ship. The other good legendary perk that you can have in slot 5 on your builds is the one that puts out fires automatically when you get 3. Glorious. People that hate getting burned to crisp, typically battleship players, try that perk out. Will to rebuild. It's getting reworked anyways. That's what I'm hearing. So it's going to go away. Let's work on not using that crutch. Oh, I'm invincible. I'm sitting right next to my teammate. Go ahead and put the fire prevention perk on, whatever it's called. All right. We got C under control. Great job by the battleship winning the fight and getting on the base. He's not doing the battleship attitude. I don't capture bases. Balderdash. Recognizes the opportunity to score. Scores. Excellent teammate to have there. So we're very pleased there. We've won the middle, basically. Now we got to convert that win into a scoring play, and that means securing B. Once we get those 2 caps generating points in the background, then even if they get A, which looks likely, all we got to really do is defend B and keep an eye on the score, and eventually we can even concede B once the score is out of their hand. All right, so the game still not quite to the halfway mark. We're only up a ship, though. Pretty decent lead, because we've had C scoring for a little bit, and of course we got another 100 points or so for the battleship that's sunk that they don't have the luxury of sinking yet. But this game, whether it's we got 3 backline Bettys flying around in outer space or just the 3v4 here, these games that are, we're up. We're looking at the score, we're up almost 200. It's a pretty close game. And in fact, this game, most of the time, if everybody makes these moves they make until the very end, which we'll explain as we get there, your team will lose this. The blue team will typically lose this game as it plays out. What the difference is they got me. I pay very close attention to the score in domination mode, and I usually, unless I'm in a reckless mood, which does happen, of course, but usually if I'm trying to win the game like I normally am, I'm paying attention to that, trying to say to myself, what do we need to do to win this game in this situation? And that changes throughout the match. All right, we always want to be reevaluating the situation. From the micro, i.e. zooming out after every shot, let's look at the map, let's look around the periphery. We're not zoomed in like we were there. That's missing a lot of information there. Squirting through again here, we're trying to being a little sloppy on the island management. It is hard to know exactly when to stop or when your ship will stop when you're attempting to do it. Usually they'll go a little bit further, but we don't want to be taking damage here. We're in a situation now where Red has indeed tied the game in terms of ships, and they still have the option to win on score or by defeating our team and eliminating our team HP to 0 or reducing our team HP to 0. Wooster, we're taking a little bit of a risk here. I'm backing into that island. You see how I'm turning the back in there. That's going to ensure that I get in there tighter. But the trade-off is those shots, and he was using AP. Everyone that hits us is going to be a broadside shot, relatively high damage. So we did sustain a fair amount of damage making that play. But I did want to get back under cover, number 1, and number 2, into a position where I'm projecting this power into these guys. Because what the light cruisers are designed to do, in my opinion, is to push back against the opponents who are trying to move into a position, right? Assuming Red's trying to win the game, they are trying to move into B right now. Or if they're just shooting their guns, then we don't care what they're trying to do. But if they're trying to win the game, they're trying to win caps. Well, we're trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible for them. If you want to move towards me, well, my guns get more and more accurate, and you're just going to have to sustain a lot of damage. You're going to have to trade a lot of that playmaking currency, i.e. the HP, to get into the position that I'm trying to defend against. So that's what we're trying to do here. You can see once again how tight we are on these islands, and this is if you're struggling with the American heavy cruisers or light cruisers, this is typically how you want them positioned in most instances. There's exceptions to every single thing I ever say about anything in this game, which is why it's interesting. But as a general rule, the American cruisers are island-hugging cruisers. Okay, we got higher, floatier shots, which is part of it, and it's just how the ships are kind of designed. So we're using the prop mod, we're using our back and forth motion to keep ourselves under concealment. Look at this incoming shot here. He's attempting to blind fire us. I don't believe he had a lock on us. And because we're right next to that, he can't physically target that spot on the ocean. Right? If he's trying to aim where I am right now and there's not a ship sighted here, he cannot really reliably hit the shot, because if he's aiming where he would need to aim, he's actually aiming at the rock. The minute I'm spotted and I'm selected, you see how his ship icon has the circle there? That means he's selected. That means my gunners are specifically targeting him. Accuracy goes way up. Now if he shoots the exact same shot, well, that will hit me and it would probably kill me, no doubt. So that's the difference. If we're understanding, okay, we're basically more or less safe. Now, the only reason I'm saying we're not 100% safe there, Yamato's dispersion a little wonky. Maybe a shell would hit me once in a while, but he can't really reliably target us there. All right, trading ships. Everyone's getting witherers this match here. Down to 2v2. We got a battleship. They got a pair of cruisers. That sounds pretty nice. Oh, God, nope. Well, when we look back at him, his health is low, and he's on fire. All right, so we're going to lose 100 points there, or the lead, rather, was reduced by 100 points. We lost, whatever, 35. They gained 75, or no, 65. Jesus, math. Whatever it is, 100-point swing for battleships. All right, so now we're up 100 points, and that'll increase by 3 every 5 seconds until they get on this cap. Once they get on the cap, it's going to take a minute for them to actually flip it. So that's another minute where there will be neutral scoring. And having done this quick calculation in my mind, what's the play? Get the heck out of Dodge. All right, we've determined once they get that cap, they're going to be gaining 3 points every 5 seconds, which is 36 points. You slice off a minute of that. That's going to take to physically capture the cap. Add on another 30 seconds to a minute just to get on the cap. They don't have enough time to win at score. Okay, so we always want to be checking what's the situation on the scoreboard. And this is what I'm talking about. Well, why is blue team usually going to lose this? Because this dude, whoever's in the Woostah, is probably open water in them saying, I can't see them. I got to go fight them. I got 10,000 health. Combined, they got God knows what, 10,000 to 50,000, 100,000. Doesn't matter. 2v1 on paper, I'm designed to lose that fight every time. All right, so pay attention to the score. And it is a skill, and it takes a lot of practice, but this is where the experience comes in. Learning how to shoot, hopefully you're getting the hang of it. If you're a brand new player, you probably can't hit much. The more experience you get, yeah, aiming comes along pretty well. You kind of get it, okay? I get blown up if I'm broadside. I don't get blown up if I'm angled. This sort of stuff comes naturally, assuming you have the information handy to actually allow you to make those decisions and improvements. But the scoring situations, that's where you need to be paying attention. And this is why I'd recommend sticking around and watching games, even if you get eliminated. I almost always watch the end of the game unless they're really ticking me off, just to gain more experience in these end game situations. Okay, because it's when we're sailing around here, the game moves faster than when we're just watching it, right? So when I'm watching the game, I'm already dead, or you're watching me now, you can say to yourself, okay, he's up there, looks like red's trying to flip the cap. Yes, practice that, practice looking at the map, practice looking at the blue ring, how close they have to get to me to get spotted, which is currently the biggest issue, right? Because they have to kill me. They cannot catch on score. I'm trying to park here. Do I need to run? Oh, God, I don't know. For some reason, these guys seem like they're catching me, probably because I'm fiddling with the knob, the throttle a lot, just jerking that knob up and down. Oh, my God, they're getting shots on us. This is a disaster. Let's get out of here. Anyway, I'll trim it down here because the moral story is we do get away, and you don't necessarily need to see it. It's not that exciting, but hopefully that'll give you some more ideas on how to think about the scoring throughout the game and specifically at the end game. So anyway, that's going to do it for that one, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, hey, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.